Hello, good morning. It's Friday the 19th here in Colorado. Probably where you are too. At least it's the 19th or the 20th, I guess. Um, you know why I like doing these videos? I just figured this out. Um, because I 100% talk to myself all the time. I am caught talking to myself by family members and friends all the time. So I guess this is really no different except for that. It's sort of a diary journal of my thought process, the process of how spirit talks to me, how I am aware of the world around me, ideally how I am aware of myself, which is a constant thing, right? In case you don't know, the idea behind these videos is to not tell you anything you don't know and help you guide you back to what you know to be true about yourself, for yourself. So let's talk about light. So first video we talked about shining our light. We the people, an actionable thing that we can do here and now in this time and place is shine our light. And then I promptly did things to cover my light. So a really baseline example, see this wall behind me? It's a sound barrier. It's a moving blanket over a coat rack or a clothing rack. So the last two videos I had it all the way up and all the way out because I didn't want you to see what was behind it. But it blocked the light, I realized, and my videos were grainy. So if I were to move it this way, you'd see that there's a kitchen right here and a bunch of light. You'll notice it's a little bit better if you've seen the other two videos. So in an attempt to protect you from what I wanted to hide, I dimmed the light. Which is hilarious. That's shadow work. I wasn't going to talk about shadow work, but let's talk about shadow work. What is it? Okay. You see my shadow right there? There's the light over here. Here's my hand. There's a shadow. Someone says that shadow's bad. I don't like that shadow. And you as a child, hand puppet, you as a child, take that on as truth, believe it, and act accordingly. Believing that that is bad or wrong or scary or whatever it is the people or person deemed it to be. It's not. It's a natural reflection. It's a natural occurrence from when you stand in your light. There's a shadow. It would be really great if everybody would do their shadow work. To look at what the thing is that somebody said was bad. Or even yourself. Maybe you told yourself something was bad about you. And look at it and go, you're not bad. Sorry about that. It's cool. Okay. Integrate. Ah. And then we're more whole. I wasn't even going to talk about that today. What are we going to talk about today? I was hoping to come on and give some good solid definitions on a couple of words. Apparently English is hard for me right now. And turns out the more research I did, the more confused I got. So we're just going to talk it through. I guess I'm going to talk it out and maybe get a little more clarity on it. Or not. Maybe that's not the goal. So the words are, here's how I know that I'm on track for the things that I'm thinking about. The words that were in my mind last week, starting to think about this episode, were duality and dichotomy. Possibly hypocrisy. Probably moving into paradox. But duality and dichotomy were the words. And I went out and met people I didn't know. That happened. And a gentleman walked in with a band shirt that said dichotomy. Bam. Yes, Spirit, I hear you. And I do mean when I speak of it, because the likelihood that I'm going to be speaking about mathematical or scientific concepts are probably never. But now I've said never, so it means probably yes. I will almost always exclusively be coming from metaphysical, spiritual, life in general perspectives. Remember last week we talked about how a way to approach coping with celebrities whose work we love and the bad things they do, the bad things we find out about. If I am understanding it correctly, the duality is what I was saying, which is art and the bad thing coexist. They're both. It's not one or, it's one and the thing. Dichotomy, if I understand correctly, is actually the space in between them, the division, the or, the good or bad. I believe that's accurate. And then I got into paradox, and as I was looking into this, the example given was, if I say to you, I am a liar, then in that moment, and it's true, I'm a liar, but I say I'm not, I say I'm a liar, thereby I'm telling the truth, thereby I'm not a liar. But I guess my question is, this is how I get into the science and math of it, does it extend beyond that moment? Does it extend beyond that statement? And where does that fall in duality or dichotomy? Because let's say in general, I'm a big fat liar. And I tell you I'm a liar. I don't think you have to be exclusively a liar for that to be true. Right? Is there a percentage? Is that just the truer statement? I lie 80% of the time. Thereby it's not a paradox because it's super specific. I don't know. I don't know. Also, never say never. Have you ever noticed? I have known this to be true. I said this literally right before I met my last partner, that I would never accept this kind of trait, this kind of trait, this kind of trait, this kind of trait, and bam, like literally inside of 2 days, we met. So I wish maybe it works opposite. Say, I would never suddenly have more money than I know what to deal with for benevolent reasons that I could do with what I please, including being of assistance to other people. Does it work like that? I'm sure there's an energetic component to that. I know there is. Also, if you don't understand manifestation, know that you're already doing it. You already do it. You already do it. And you're the only one who can do it for you. Is that 100% true? Predominantly true. I feel like I can feel. Is that my fear? Somebody else's fear? Somebody just went, it's true though. Just give yourself an opportunity to pay attention to how you set yourself up for your day. How things come about for you. How information comes to you. What are you resisting? Oh, great. That leads us to Mercury retrograde, which is now, because God forbid. We have a lot going on celestially. You can do your research on that. I am not an astrologer. I just follow them on TV. So much going on celestially. And we are in retrograde. Before you let that panic you, know that you have some control. So look at your word choices. The retrograde. It means again. What words do you associate with it? Are they lower vibration words or are they higher vibration words? Are they allotment for grace for yourself or reassessment, recalibration? I like relax, although I don't know that counts as, I don't know. Can you lax and then relax? Again, English language. So what are the words? Write those words down for you. What ones are you looking at? Are they lower vibration? Are they higher vibration? Can you pivot your attention? Not can you. You can pivot your attention to the higher vibration choices and get on that different timeline, that different road. Different timeline just means the side road, the next road, and the next road, and the next road, and the better road, and the better road, and the better road, the less bumpy road, the more beautiful road, the more scenic road. What road do you want to be on? Be on that road. Yeah. I love that I write stuff down and then we just don't. We just don't. Oh, we talked about self-righteous indignation also in the last episode. And then I got smacked in the face with it. Smacked myself in the face with it. So that's good though. I'm glad. It frustrated me because I knew that was happening. What was happening? I like to think of myself as a person who is of service. I do my best to always be of service. I am given the opportunity to do that a lot at my job. I don't believe that I do it for validation. I don't believe that I need anyone to tell me anything good back about what I'm doing. But what I feel like happens is I get 0 to negative comment back. 1, is that 100% true? Probably not. Feels true. Felt true this week. Mercury retrograde. Or my life, because validation is a whole. We'll get into it. So what did I have to look at? I needed to look at whether or not that's true and whether or not I also don't give positive feedback. Because that's what it's ultimately about, right? You've heard this, that everyone's a mirror reflection of ourselves. We're all mirror reflections. We're all one. How are we all one? In that we're all mirror reflections. Everything happening around us, we've set up because of how we perceive things. The lens with which we look at it. If we look at everything through self-righteous indignation, that we're angry and we make people angry. That's not a great approach. It is not a great approach. It is not. I have yet to come up with a way in which that is an accurate approach on any level. And I'm becoming acutely aware of how much I operate through it. So then, interesting choice some friends at work made at the end, yesterday when we were leaving. They loved bomb me, and they just suddenly started throwing compliments my way, and which was unexpected, and I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel really good. So the question, I would say struggle. I don't want to say struggle. The question is, what is up with external validation? Why? Why do we need it? Because, again, the baseline of these conversations is how can we do things for, sorry, I'm getting dry. Why is it not enough to self-validate ourselves? To believe in what we think and feel to be true, to tell ourselves we're doing a good job, we're enough, we look great, we're taking care of ourselves. Side note, parenting yourself. Have you started? Kind of goes back to shadow work. Just goes back to recognizing there comes a point in adulthood that we have to let our parents off the hook, or our caregivers, or our guardians, or whomever, and turn the focus inward. But I'm not going to lie. External validation, positive validation feels good. So, is that a duality? Is that a paradox? Is that a dichotomy? I don't know. talk about want for a second. That actually might be it. So I work with children. I work with kids under the age of 3. And I don't know if you've ever spent time in a room with 1-year-olds. I recommend it. It's joyful, but it's also brutal. And it's driven by want. And what I find interesting is I don't think it changes. It just becomes a function of socializing children into adults who don't hit somebody in the face because they have something they want. We do practice just saying it. Just say what you want. You don't have to get aggressive. You didn't even know you wanted that till you saw them holding it. Why are we filled with so much Is that self-righteous indignation? I don't know. Can you? I mean, we're kind of doing it. We kind of do it. But do we do that? We hit people. They hit a lot. Like I said, it's like Neanderthal brain. There's still not a lot of concept of other. Which in a way, I guess, is what it is. Point being, they're not thinking about their feelings. They're just really only feeling their own feelings. And don't really have words for it. So it's physical way of acquiring what they want for like 30 seconds, and then it's the next thing. I'm not positive that we move out of that all that much. See, and now that's going to come up a lot. Or one of these concepts, this is what I've noticed in my life, is the circular presentation of things that I'm thinking show up in real life, or vice versa. And then it just keeps, like, I've been thinking about this stuff, and then I listen to a podcast or read a book, and it comes up in that. Again, I think that's examples of how we are all one. We're all in the ethers the same. Also, an example, not only. I start seeing grown-ups acting like 1-year-olds. I might just laugh. I'm not going to lie. So for your Mercury retrograde, reflect. Here are some. Reflect, reassess, recover, relax, rejuvenate. Remove. Remove, I think, is a big one. Remove things from your life, or allow them to remove themselves. The concept of the grip, of the water skiing grip, when you are falling and we hold on really tight and we get dragged across the water and we need to just let that go. That concept has come up. Almost exactly like that. Like, let go, or otherwise you're just getting beat against the water. Sorry. Just smack up against the microphone. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much. Please remember, you already know everything you need to know. And you already are everything. You're already everything. The practice is to see how you are shrouding your light and what you can do to remove the shroud. I hope you have a magical week. Thank you so much.